everything is sales in life. At the end of the day, you've always been selling yourself no matter where you are or what you do. If you're a boy, you're selling yourself to a girl of why you're worthy of a relationship with her. If you're a girl, you're doing the same thing and you're putting on makeup and you're behaving in a certain way, so you're attracted to the opposite sex. You are trying to become one of your teacher's favorite people in the class. Maybe your teacher is only allowed to give out 9 A's and you're on the cusp and you might not get that A. You're selling yourself. You're emailing the teacher, you're staying after later, you're doing study hours, you're doing all the things. You are always selling. The biggest misconception is that only people that have the job title salesman or saleswoman is in sales, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I don't understand the difference in going to a job interview with a place that you are begging to work at. You are practicing, you're rehearsing, you're talking to your parents, friends, family, you're getting letters of recommendation from your professors, from your president of your school. You're pitching yourself. It's a pitch. Think about it this way. You could be an all-A student, you could be a part of all these societies and still not get a job. And nowadays that's more true than ever, because you weren't able to be persuasive in your language and go to bat for yourself at why you make more sense than somebody else when you guys are both neck and neck in terms of on paper statistics. So you failed at selling yourself. So to the degree in which you don't like sales is to the degree in which I think you will fumble in many areas of your life. I think the days of being humble are over in many ways. I think humility, if you actually look it up in the dictionary, it's not what you think it is. And that was alarming to me to understand that humility is to actually have a lower opinion of oneself. And I don't want to ever think low of myself. Think about this. Even when I say that right now, you're like, no, that's not what it means. You're going to go on Google. Please go on Google right now and go to humility, look up the definition, and you'll puke. And you'll wonder, how did anyone ever get it in your brain that humility was to just be casual, to not talk about oneself, not have a high self-esteem, not have an ego, not be too forward, not to be aggressive. Humility isn't the opposite or antithesis of that. And that's the lie we're being told. Hide in the corner. You'll get your opportunity if you're good enough. You know who would say something like that? Me, if I was trying to crush my opponent. If I wanted to cast a spell on anybody I might be worried about that has any aspirations or ambitions in life, I would tell them to be humble. But you know what I've learned in my life? Is a closed mouth does not get fed. And if you don't speak up for what you believe in, how is anybody supposed to know who you think you are if you never tell people who you think you are? That hit me like a freight train one year, where I was so upset that my coaches didn't know that I thought I should be on the power play for hockey. I was a hockey player. A power play is a special teams part of the game where somebody gets a penalty, and usually hockey, it's 5-on-5, and when the other team gets a penalty, you get 5 players and they get 4. Number 1, it's very fun. Number 2, you get a lot of points. Number 3, more points equals, typically, sometimes, it means higher rankings, higher ratings, higher statistics. You get tryouts, you get well-known, you get the accolades, you get the college scholarship, you get the whole thing. So if you're on a new team, or if you're in a job interview and you're just working every day and you're hiding in the corner, please tell me what skills and what will be known to your boss when they have a relationship to deal with, their own duties from their higher up, life in general, all these things going on in the background. They barely even know who they are. So if you're not going into their office, or you're not telling said person, whoever doesn't know who you think you are, there is an absolute zero chance that they will know who you are. And in my experience, every single time that I called my shot, I at least got an at bat. So what I'm saying isn't to say that mistakes won't be made, that you will get the thing you desire, because that's a whole nother thing in and of itself, is that sometimes we believe we should get an opportunity that we deserve, and it's actually a sense of entitlement, and we haven't earned the right just yet. So there can be a dichotomy of that, but you won't even know that until you swing. And a lot of times, including a past version of myself, I wouldn't even swing. And a day, week, month later, I would have to think about how upset I was and how resentful I was of coach, family member, friend, ex-girlfriend, said situation, when all I'm living in is a now regret of what I didn't do and the actions I didn't take that have nothing to do with anybody else, only my interpretation of what I didn't do and what I could have done. Stop playing small. Stop listening to the content or the people and the things you hear about humility and all that stuff. You don't want to overspeak about certain things for sure, but life is way too short to not call your shot. There's a big difference between being optimistic and being delusional and saying you deserve something that you don't. I'm just speaking from what I've learned, and this is just based on past experience. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, and I know it's relatable. We've all had that period of time, whether it's in a one-on-one meeting with a mentor, coach, teacher, family member, partner, that you bit your tongue when you shouldn't have, and you didn't call your shot when you shouldn't have. And in life, typically, it's very rare that you will get to the age of 85 and say, I wish I never said that. You're gonna regret what you didn't say, because you have to live with that forever. I like to believe I'm pushing the boundaries, and if someone says, hey Chris, you've gone too far, and I have, I apologize, because I don't ever have intentions of ruffling feathers, pushing buttons, or anything. I just live off intuition and truth. But if there is a period, okay, we'll refrain now. But most people don't even make the attempt. And then you're walking around too stuffed up because there's so many things you're not pressing the gas on. And trust me, your employer, your friend, family will feel a weight lifted off their shoulders that for once somebody is swinging the bat, making the attempt, and trying to go above and beyond for themselves. Especially if you're a manager, leader, captain of a team, coach. It's music to your ears when someone knocks on the door and says, hey, can I have a couple minutes of your time? You're like, whoa. And then they call their shot. Hey, I know you may or may not know this, but I believe this of myself. I know you haven't given me this opportunity before, but I believe this is for me. Now, I'm not telling you to make a decision this way or that way, but I want you to know that this is my belief. And what I would love to happen is that you at least give me this at bat. If I mess this up, pull me off. But I think you're gonna be surprised at the result of this. And depending on if this is a work environment or a coach, guess who looks good anyway? Them. Because you took more off their plate, you made yourself available for the opportunity, and it was actually what you were naturally good at. But don't miss that little sliver of what you believe you're good at and not at least attempt or shoot your shot for that at bat. You have to pick something. It doesn't matter what it is. It has to be something that you can grip and hold on to. And it might be for a day or an hour or a week or a month or 365 days. It doesn't have to be tangible. It could be a thought, an idea, a belief, a person, a habit, all the above, one of the above. It has to be something, and you have to always revert back to it as your safe haven. I'll give you an example. You chose something. You wanted to change your life. You were doing this for 4 years. Now you switch and you're doing this. You don't have anything that tells you that you can or can't do that tangibly because you have never done it, but you want to. So maybe it's a hobby, aspiration. It's a passion of yours. You want to be a professional DJ, never DJed in your life. You have dreams. It's in your brain. You see yourself on stage, 30,000 people. You've never spun a track, never mixed a track, never used anything. So the vision's there, the thought's there, but there's a whole space that's just completely missing that you can't put any confidence to, and you have imposter syndrome. That's normal. So first, understanding that it's normal that you don't feel 100% confident in what you are about to pursue. But what you do have on your side is your ability to dream and to have the foresight to see that it's even a possibility. Before something comes to actualization, to becoming, you have to dream it and see it and believe it. Or else where did it come from? How are you doing something that you didn't first think of? So you have the dream, you have the vision, you have the belief. You definitely know what you don't want. So that might even be the motivating factor, is you're just simply running away from that. And for some people, that's enough to push for a little bit, enough. It's the same sense as I have motivation through bitterness, resentment, being spiteful. I'll show him, I'll prove them wrong, I'll do this in spite of them, they'll see, they'll get theirs. That is a driving force. The number one thing is figuring out what it is for you immediately. Write it down. What is it? Are you someone who is in the pursuit of or running away from? Either way, they're energies. And to stop judging yourself for whatever one it is, pick it. Are you in a bad energy space and you have motivation and desire off that? Or is it a positive space that you feel good, centered, and grounded from? What energy space are you in? Hot or chill, cold, or just smooth? What energy source? The hotter is gonna burn brighter, but over time you're gonna have to switch it to a more self-sustaining fuel. And then you're just gonna have to understand and calibrate, if you decided what it is, what am I gonna lean into and what are the attributes that I do have? I believe if you made a decision to switch from one thing to another, there's something about you that you know is different. What is that thing? What is the thing that you are afraid to tell other people but you always hear is good about you? What's the thing that is unique to you and you need to hold it hostage, but then let it go into the thing you're doing and magnify it big time? For the first time ever, you need to blow up that thing that you've been scared of projecting out into the world in that past space, because that past space is where you had the gift and you rotted inside because you weren't able to show it. In this space, blow it up, magnify it, times it by 100, and just be that. Just be the gift. Just be the thing. Just be that. And then immediately everybody just sees you at that, as that, and starts radiating off of you from that. So for me, what is it? I don't think I'm talented at all. What did I do when I got into financial services 6 months ago? The same thing I did when I played professional hockey. When I was professional hockey, I played Division III hockey. I was the only undrafted player on one of my teams my second year in Cincinnati for the Cyclones. I was the only undrafted defenseman on that whole team. I knew from day one, it just clicked. You got to show up first to the rink. You have to show up first. I was a guy, I had to stretch out, ride the bike, be there an hour early, play the music, do the thing, cold plunge, hot plunge, stretch out. I had to do a full hour and a half, hour to 2 hour routine, depending on the day, depending on the week. But my car had to be there first. If there was a day where there was a player where his car was there a minute before mine, 5, 10, 15, the next day he wasn't there first for the rest of the season. I was there, first car there, no matter what. So what did I have? Nothing. No talent, no skill, effort. I could control that. So you have to focus on what you can control. What can I control that I could stand by that is going to stand the test of time? Something that you can control. For me, it was my effort and it was my timing. It was very subtle, simple things. And over time, you gain confidence in that. Everybody can only have confidence in themselves to the degree in which they stand by the commitments that they made for themselves. Every time you don't make a commitment to yourself, you lie to yourself, and you just put a dagger in your own back, just a little bit, or just a scratch. You have to learn to trust yourself. And when it's a new environment and a new thing, you have to simplify everything and control what you can control. So in the sense of financial services, what I do, I'm gonna share my experience. At the beginning, I called family, called friends, called my girlfriend. I had no idea what this industry was. I didn't know what it was. I had no clue. I am somebody that has a really hard time when I can't see it. This was the first opportunity for me I could not see. I looked up what is financial services, what do financial service professionals do, what does a day look like, all these things. No idea, could not figure it out. Pure unknown, but all I did know was that I have no plan B, no matter what. I'm not somebody who can go half pregnant, half in. I'm all in or zero in. If I'm working, I'm all in or zero in. And with this, I knew that. So what did I know? No plan B. Okay, number one, I got that down. And then the second thing I did know for sure was no one's gonna outwork me. Whoever was the leading producer or whoever had the biggest numbers, trust me, the first week when I didn't have to show my numbers, in the first month when I didn't, and I saw some of these producers' volume, 50 meetings in a month, 80 meetings in a month, 100 meetings in a month. You don't think that's a lot? Try doing that with no leads. Try doing that with your own phone and you get no leads. It's all you, all your network, all your ability to produce, all your ability to get referrals day in and day out, no salary, all commission, go. The minimum I could make was $0 and the maximum is infinity. And I had no skill, I had no sales experience, but I had a full commitment that I was gonna make it work no matter what happened. And it's changed my life completely. But what I did know immediately, and I learned this from multiple years of hard internal work, was the job and the thing doesn't matter. I could have been doing anything. I was gonna show up first, leave last, and control what I could control. And when I did that, the outcome would come. I think most people are focused on what their desire is and then what the outcome they will get is. But they miss the whole in between, and the focus is just around the outcome. So as quickly as possible, you have to bring that up a notch to almost a delusional notch, and you have to believe at every second you're gonna make it, even though things don't look like they are. And you have to continuously be on the pursuit and never stop being on the pursuit and fight the language and the cynicism and the pessimism and anybody that tells you you can't do it. But focus on the little things, focus on the controllables, and the outcome will come. Forget about the outcome and focus just on the day-to-day actions, learning, curiosity, and continue to ask questions. and continue to learn every single day, and the outcome will happen. The outcome can't not happen if you're putting it in every single day and being a student of the game. The day you say, I got it, the day you say, I have it figured out, I don't need help, you're done. So anybody can do it. This is the different thing. When I played professional hockey, the last thing I'll say on this is, I've always been an observer. Every hockey team I've been on. I grew up blue collar. A lot of kids I play with are wealthy, cake eaters, all this stuff. They just had to show up to the rink. They had it figured out. A lot of them, they're definitely not playing hockey anymore, and they probably want my job. I'm just kidding. But a lot of them had high ceilings, high potential, and fell through the cracks because they didn't work hard and their talent was exponential. But when hard work is lacking, you will just slowly decay. And what I learned was, I'm like, oh my God, why is that guy always showing up late? He's so talented. Oh yeah, his habits are bad. He's eating out every day. He's not working out. He's not cold plunging. He's not doing those things. Everything to do with habits and day to day. What are you doing today? Somebody who works hard, who has no talent, will run the fuck over somebody who has talent and doesn't work hard. 3 months, max. Give them 3 months. They'll be going here. One will go here, one will go there. It's every day. What are you putting in? And you can have pride in that. If you're a student in the game and someone's way ahead of you in the same game, so you picked your lane, they're in the lane, but they have so much talent and skill, but they don't work hard, and you work really hard and don't have that much talent and skill, oh my gosh, sayonara. If you put it in every single day, they're done for. They'll get complacent because life is a long game, and you will reap the benefits over time. And that's where, in a sense, you could kind of become humble. Because right now, I know there's no stopping me personally, and you can have confidence in that. If you're putting in an hour and being a student of your craft a day, trust me, that's so much more than so many people. I can't believe when I turned into a professional, when I was done with hockey, how many people got their degree, was any professional, marketing, sales, real estate, and stopped going to school. Stop being a student of the craft. For me, school started the day I became a professional. For some people, the day they got their degree is the day they stopped learning. I never understood that, because education is every day. So hold your head up high in your ability to learn, and hold your head up high and have confidence in your day-to-day, and know and hold that, okay, the outcome didn't happen today. Oh my gosh, 3 people missed their meetings. I had 6 people, one day I had 6 people scheduled, all 6 didn't show up. Just kept it moving. You take it personal, oh my gosh, what happened? They rescheduled, it's life. But the at-bats were there. So be committed to that, and you will be light years ahead of somebody if you pick the thing to hold your head on for a little bit, and don't let anything get inside of that core belief, and don't let anybody let you fret or fray away from the core belief that will push you to the next level.